evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sammy Ketchum, and welcome back to Sammy Ketchum TCG. All right, today we have for you today a deck profile of pikarom, aka Black Lightning. Today, this is going to be a revision. This is currently the list that I'm playing right now. Also, I'm going to be telling you about my tournament report from a League Cup that I was at yesterday, where I basically went undefeated into the top 8 and took 5th place, which isn't too shabby. This deck ran great all day. Well, until I reached the top 8 and finally played my weakness, which was fighting, But I'm gonna start off with that. I'm gonna start off with my tournament report, and then we'll get into the deck profile. Hopefully this won't be too long for some of you guys. So yeah. I'm gonna start doing that. Well, start things off, playing at the League Cup. I actually had doubts going because I was actually supposed to be at work, but So yeah, I skipped out of work to play in this League Cup, which was totally worth it. But yeah, I liked it. So basically, let's do this. Okay, round one. Round one, I play against Gardevoir. All right. I go first. I get set up. I start off with pikarom. I do my thing. I get off the turn 1 Lily, and I set up my bench. Perfectly. Next thing you know, they get off the elm. They set up their bench. And then they beacon. They beacon for like Ninetales and Gardevoir, and they pass. So second turn, I literally get off the full blitz Pikachu Zekrom, knock out their Vulpix, and attach to another Pikachu and Zekrom on the bench. So I'm off to a great start. All right. The next turn is set there. They evolve to Gardevoir, the rare candy, whatever. Send it out, and they hit me for 150 damage. I'm like, so I'm like, dang, well, they didn't knock me out. So my next turn, I come back, I retreat that Pikachu and Zekrom, bring out the other one, attach energy switch, Thunder Mountain, boom. I literally use the GX attack, KO the Gardevoir, KO the Lele on the bench, and boom, I'm off to the races. Next turn, they couldn't even respond with anything because they didn't have anything else left up. So basically, I win that series. All right. Round 2, I play against Blacephalon. Blacephalon is basically an easy matchup for pikarom. He starts off, he has a Blacephalon in the active. He gets out his Poipoles. He gets out another Blacephalon on the bench. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I take my turn. I go. I get set up. I get things going. Next thing you know, he gets off the GX attack. Then after that, I get off the full blitz. I get off a full blitz. I Guzma'd up his Naganadel and knocked it out. Then after that, he sends out a Blacephalon. Alright. He uses Blacephalon with 5 energies to KO one of my Pikachu and Zekroms. I'm like, okay, I'm not too worried. I powered up my other one on the bench. So, after that, I sent the one on the bench out. Of course, energy switch. Long story short, I GX'd the Blacephalon active and his only Naganadel Only Nagano at the time on the bench to knock that out. You know, so I took him out of the beast ring turn, which was perfect. After that, I mean, he basically just kind of stalled because he really didn't have an answer on what it could do because he needed more energies on Bucephalon, which he couldn't get. He finally did get another Naganadel in play, but you know, with only one energy on, he really couldn't do anything else. So basically, it was game after that. Fourth round, I ID'd to Zoroark control. I played my friend Jeremiah Schultz Seagrove. You know, really great guy. Really enjoyed hanging out with him there. But yeah, so we ID'd in the fourth round. Fifth round, I ID'd with Zapdos Jirachi Shrine, which was really interesting. Actually, I really wanted to play that matchup to see how it went, but I ID'd so we can all get in the top cut. I found out that I was actually the top seed going into the top cut, which was really nice. I mean, you know, so, you know, and then I got to the top cut, and what do you know, the first thing I play against is Zoroark, Lycanroc, Lucario. I finally hit the weakness matchup at the cup, and I'm like, dang, why did that have to be my first matchup in top cut? Yeah, but I was like, it's all right. So you know, I was like, okay. So I started to play. First game, my opening hand, no supporters. No supporters. Got two Pikachu and Zekroms. Got some trainers, some items. I'm like, but no supporters. So I'm like, crap. I'm like, I have no supporters and I'm going up against fighting weakness. So I was like, okay. I benched two Pikachu and Zekroms and I passed. You know, he goes. You know, he does his thing. He gets the Elms. No, not Elms, excuse me. You know, Nest Ball, Energy. No, double colors Energy onto his Rockruff, I think. You know, onto his Rockruff, you know, passes. You know, I go on my second turn. I look at my top card. Still no supporter. Okay, I scoop game one. We go to game two. I get a better start. You know, I get a better start, but still, you know, I'm going up against fighting weakness. You know, it just did not look good. He got off the GX attack on Lycanroc. Hit my zero for weakness. Took two prizes. I tried to do something with Tapu Koko GX. I brought that out. Arrow Trail. I think did I knock out one of his Pokemon? I don't know. I think I just damaged his Pokemon. I don't think I knocked anything out. But yeah. Tried to get something going with Tapu Koko, and it just did not look good at all. He came back and he knocked that out. You know, he knocked that out with something, and I was just like, I was done. So yeah, he knocked that out, and then yeah, it just did not look good. He just killed me with fighting weakness, and I just did not have a prayer. Yeah, I mean, Pikarom basically just loses to that. You know, it's just a bad matchup, and there's just nothing you can do about it. You know, yeah, but overall, I had so much fun. It was a really great run. It was a really great run. So, but yeah, I'm gonna tell you about this deck that I played. It's really great. I really like it. It's probably one of the best decks that I've ever played. So yeah, let's jump into it. All right, let's see here. we have ourselves 3 Pikachu and Zekrom. Move that up a little bit. Pikachu and Zekrom is so good. It's so fast. His full Blitz attack can basically power up any one of your electric Pokemon on the bench. You know, it's really good to just power up a second one, and then the next turn go into the GX attack, if you want to. But yeah, this card is just so good. It's going to be good for a good while. I don't see the value of this card diminishing anytime soon. Two Zeraora GX. Zeraora GX is kind of like the second backbone of this deck, the second attacker. He's basically in there for his ability, Thunderclap Zone. Because it says all your Pokemon with electric energy attached to it can have no retreat cost, so they have free retreat. This is really good when you're going up against decks with like Absol. If they have Absol in it and you have this down, you can still free retreat. You know. Yeah, Zeraora is good, very good. His attack isn't bad either. Plasma Fist for 160, but you can attack the next turn. You know, I mean, I'm known for playing stuff like this. I mean, you know, sit there, oh, I do 160, I can't attack. Oh, no, Guzma or switch or something, and then bring out another one or bring out the same one and attack with it again. I mean, it's actually just really decent. I love Zeraora. The old Thundercat. Alright. Then we have a new addition to this deck. A 2/2 line of Jolteon GX. Now, I have seen players only playing one copy, one copy of Jolteon GX. Well, a 1/1 line. But the thing about it is, it's like that one copy, that one copy is kind of just like, what are you going to do if this is in your prizes, or the Eevee's in your prizes, or let's say you want to evolve this and the Jolteon's in your hand, I watched the Collinsville regional stream of Pablo Meza in his match when he attached the electric energy to the Eevee and his Jolteon was in his hand and he couldn't search out for it. That was just devastating. That was just devastating. So I decided to play two, because I want the chance to find a Jolteon in my deck. I want to be able to evolve this turn one if I needed to. Being able to have this is great. Also, being able to have two is also great in certain matchups, especially like against Zapdos. So Jolteon GX attack, his Electro Bullet is basically Jet Punch. You do 30 to the active and 30 to a bench Pokemon. Alright. You can modify that with Electro Powers or Choice Bands if they have GXs. And then the second attack, Head Bolt for 110, which isn't bad. Again, you can modify that with Choice Band, Electro Powers, things like that. And then his GX attack, which is very, very good, for 110, basically gives him immunity. You can't attack him on the next turn, which is very good. It sets up so many great plays. This basically gives Zapdos trouble. That's GX attack. And he has free retreat. Free Retreat, which is brilliant. Brilliant. Free Retreat on his own. That enough speaks for itself. I like him. I like him. I like him a lot. I'm glad to be playing another deck with evolutions in it. We have ourselves 2 Tapu Lele GX. Self-explanatory. Play him down to search your deck for a supporter. Tapu Koko GX. Tapu Koko GX is so good. And it's so useful in just about, in like every single electric deck right now. Tapu Koko GX is so useful. The Arrow Trail ability to move energies to Tapu Koko GX. Sky High Claws 130 is not a bad attack. It hits a sweet spot. And Tapu Thunder GX is also an alternate GX attack. This Tapu Thunder GX basically slays other pikarom decks. Yes, it slays other pikarom decks. You know, your opponent sits there and they go full blitz, and they either power up another Pikachu in deck or power up the one in the active. You basically just go Ultra Ball, search this thing out, Arrow Trail, and then Tapu Thunder. You know what I'm saying? Instant 3 prizes. Insane. Freaking insane. I love it. I love it. You know. Tapu Koko Prism Star is great in, every single electric type deck right now. You have them on the bench. If you have them on the bench, you can move them from play. Just search your discard pile for 2 electric energies. It's very good. It really helps Pikarom get going faster. Helps basically just about every other single deck get going faster as well. You know. So many great combos you can do with him, with his ability. His ability just makes him the best right now. One copy of Zapdos. This deck isn't focused on Zapdos. You know, so I took most of them out. But one copy isn't bad. You know, you can use them in certain matchups to help, to help you win the prize trade. His attack, Thunderous Assault, which is really good. If you bring him up to the active during the turn, he can do 70 more damage, which is really good. You can amp that up with Choice Band and Electro Powers if you like. He is very good. He's so good that they basically Zapdos has its own deck. So I mean, he definitely has merit to him, but in this deck we focus on Pikarom. That's the only reason we have only one. One copy of Marshadow. Marshadow is very good with his Let Loose ability. You shuffle both players' hands to their decks and draw 4 cards. This, ladies and gentlemen, can basically win you the game. You know, if you disrupt your opponent early and, and they only get 4 cards, until you take them out of their starting hand, you could literally end them right there. It is insane. It is very good. You can sit there, mill your hand down, play your Lily, get Ultra Ball for Marshadow, and then play Marshadow after you've already played your supporter. Or what you can sit there and do is, if you have Marshadow in your hand, in your opening hand, play down the Marshadow, go to 4 cards. Off the Marshadow draw, you get like Cynthia or the Lily. Then you play the Lily, and even get more cards to set up your board, which is very good. I love this card. I've seen some lists play too, but with space, you know, I still like 1. I wouldn't go to 2. And then last but not least, 1 copy of Absol. Absol's in there for his ability. Your opponent's basic Pokemon basically, their retreat cost 1 more. Cost 1 colorless more. So all their basic Pokemon. This means they're Jirachis. This means they're Jirachis basically. It locks their Jirachis in the active, since they can't pull them back. When I played the Jirachi player, you know, at the tournament yesterday, there was so many, like, I think there was like 2 or 3 turns, his Jirachi got locked in the active because he couldn't bring it back to the bench. I was just like, man, this card is really, really, really stumps them. You know, especially if they don't have like any switching cards. Well, the switch out at the time. You know. So yeah, I love this card. This is a great tag. Really great tag. On to the supporters. We have ourselves 3 Cynthia. Self-explanatory. 2 Erica's Hospitality. Erica's Hospitality is very good, especially against decks that like to have a big bench. Which basically, mostly all my opponents basically had a big bench. So I usually benefited from this. You know. 2 copies of Lily. Lily is very good. Turn 1. You can draw yourself up to 8 cards. 4 copies of Volkner. Volkner is so good with this deck. You get an electric energy and an item. Getting that item is very key, is very clutch. You know, so you know, getting electro power, getting choice band, getting energy switch is very good, especially for pikarom when you want to attack fast. You know, I will never cut a Volkner in this deck in standard. This deck will always play 4 Volkner. Three Guzma. 3 Guzma is very good for switching out your Pokemon. It works very well with this deck. Very well. Especially when you have Zero Aura to help you free retreat. 1 copy of Acerola. Acerola is very good. When you're taking damage and they don't automatically KO you, you can sit there, Acerola the Pokemon, and you get a fresh new start. This is very good against like Shrine variants. When they sit there and just tack on a whole bunch of damage, you know, you can just basically just Acerola and just undo all that. Especially how big Pikarom is. Pikarom is very big, beefy, 240. But yeah, Acerola really does help in those situations. 4 Ultra Ball, self-explanatory. 4 Electro Powers. I did that terribly. I did that terribly, guys. Oh my god. It's just... Nah. Oh god, I did that terribly. Anyway, 4 Electro Powers. Electro Powers help power up your Pokemon. Your electric attacks do 30 more damage. This is very good to help Pikarom hit the numbers against other tag teams. Also help you hit 210 against Zoroark and other things as well. This is very good for electric decks. You know, I love it. I love it. And I'm so glad that electric Pokemon have something like this, because electric's my favorite type, if you can't tell. Alright, 3 copies of Energy Switch. Energy Switch is very good with this deck, with switching energies, especially after you full blitzed. You know, you can Energy Switch more energies to your Pokemon to get off the GX attack. But yeah, Energy Switch is very good with this deck. I love it. Two Nest Balls. 2 Nest Balls to get going fast to find your Pokemon, which is very good. 2 Choice Bands to help your Pokemon hit the numbers. I've seen some lists play no Choice Bands, which is ridiculous. Like, you need Choice Bands. You need to hit the numbers against certain Pokemon. And if you don't have Choice Bands in your deck, I don't know what you're doing. I'm sorry, but I don't know what you're doing. You got to play Choice Bands. For the longest time, I actually played 3. But two is still decent with this deck. I can tell you right now, I'm never cutting Choice Bands unless it goes out of the format. One copy of Thunder Mountain. This is good because all your electric Pokemon, their attacks cost 1 electric less, which is very good for this deck. Helps pikarom get even faster. Probably one of the best cards in the deck. And where is that other card? One copy of Aether Paradise. Aether Paradise is in here to be the second stadium. You need another stadium in here to go against the Stadium Wars. Especially against things like Wonder Labyrinth, which they do not even play in a fairy deck, which is insane, you know. So, and also Aether Paradise helps this deck out. All the Pokemon in this deck are basics except for Jolteon. So, you know, your opponent's attacks do 30 less damage, which is very good. Very good. Very good for Pikarom. Very good for Zeraora. You know, I love it. I love it. You know, it's very good. I don't know why. Well, I don't know why people are playing Viridian Forest in Electric deck or Pikarom when they don't need it. This deck is so fast. You know, you can get energies like that. You got Volkner to get energies. You've got Pikachu and Zekrom to search out energies from your deck that are attached to your Pokemon. You don't need Viridian Forest. This, however, is another story. You need this. This is very good. I like it. Yeah. Last but not least, we have ourselves 12 lightning energies. Sorry, baby. But 12 lightning energies for your Pokemon. It's very good. 12. Whew. Well, alright, guys. We have come to the end finally. Alright. First off, I would like to give shout outs to Grand Slam Comics. You know, being at that shop was great. Playing in the League Cup. I enjoyed it. Shout outs to Jeremiah Schultz. You know, hanging out with him was really great. You know, and also getting the ID with him. You know, it's always a pleasure to see. It's always a pleasure to see people. You know, friendly faces, things like that. You know. Also, shout outs to my opponents. You know, they were great. You know, they were great sports. Um, you know, they did very well. You know, my opponents were nice. So yeah. Also, shout out to my friend Jake, who actually won seniors with almost the same exact list as me with pikarom. You know, he did very well in his seniors games. So shout outs to him. But yeah, other than that, that's the video. Um, like, comment, subscribe, and as always, make sure you take care of yourself and each other. Thank you.